First off, you need to be living your best possible life. There's no point in any man's existence on earth where they just don't want to have the best possible lifestyle. They may not want to work as hard in order to achieve that lifestyle, but I know for a fact that when you go to bed at night, you are praying and you are wishing that things would fall better into your life, that you would have the best possible experiences, the nicest cars, the hottest girl, whatever fantasy that you don't see yourself being able to achieve, you pray for it at night, you wish upon it at night, or you even dream about it. I know that you think that you can do better. And it really all starts off with that first step of simply believing and wanting a better life. And you're already at that first step. But what many guys do is they just stay there. They don't come up with a plan to develop a actual approach or an actual game plan where they can have designated steps and actually follow through with making some sort of success or progress. Obviously, you can't go from 0 to 100 overnight, but what you can do is come up with a realistic daily routine that you can follow and you can implement into your lifestyle that can bring change over time. It's going to start out small, but over time, that small is going to compound more and more, and eventually you will be surprised with the progress you can make. And one easy way to just go about improving yourself is just starting off at the gym. If you are not going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You have to understand how competitive today's dating market is, and if you're not in shape, you might die alone. Actually, you probably will die alone. And it's not something that is a popular topic, but you need to understand that if you really want to attract the most attractive woman, you have to be the most attractive version of yourself. And in order to do that, it starts off first with your physique. If your body's not in the right shape, it's not going to be appealing towards women. Women aren't going to want to work with you. They're not going to want to have kids with you. They don't want to spend their time with you. You can't continue to fantasize about this life if you know you can't ever achieve it. But you taking that first step of putting yourself in better shape, by you getting in better shape, is just getting you closer to your goal. And you will understand the swagger that comes with this once you actually have your physique right. You kind of walk around with, I don't know, a little more intention, a little more purpose. Every stride you take is with confidence. And I know they say you can't buy confidence, but you can buy a gym membership. And that might be the closest thing you can do to buying confidence. You will, have your split. You're going to probably do push-pull legs or a bro split, whatever it is, whatever works best for your body. Just follow it consistently, eat a good diet, have your protein goals, and just watch the confidence in you grow. That's a beginner thing that all men need to be doing. Once you do have your fitness more in shape and you're understanding that there's other aspects of your life that you need to work on, you're probably going to get to the realization of, dang, you need to make more money. And I know a lot of guys are going to be like, oh my God, making money is bad. You should just do what you like. You should just do what you're passionate about. But bro, you live in a capitalist world. You need to have the most successful, you need to have the most lucrative form of income. And that's by starting a business. You don't have to necessarily start a business right off the gate. You can work a traditional 9 to 5, get that money, invest that money somewhere. Something you should do something you can do in order to just raise the amount of income you have. And there's tremendous opportunities now, more than ever, to start businesses in either the internet world or cybersecurity, logistics, whatever place or whatever demographic you think can benefit most from your services, just go and take that route. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most flashy business. I know a lot of people want to start businesses that don't have any real need in the world anymore. I think one of the easiest businesses, no, not necessarily easiest business, because no business is really easy, but the business that I think you have a very high probability in succeeding would be something with logistics. The supply chain has been heavily set back for quite some time now, and I don't see too many people trying to make businesses in order to solve the issues that many companies face within their supply chain. This would be a good opportunity for you to either take supply chain classes in your school or just learn about it on the internet. YouTube has so much great information, great content creators that provide you a lot of information on pretty much any topic you need. So you should pick aside maybe 2 to 3 days out of the week, the days that you aren't working, and just really spend the day learning. Spend the day learning what business opportunities you can take within this field, what different problems you can help solve, and the team you want to eventually construct around you to help you work on a daily basis. There's going to be so many different things for you to work on. So it's really important that you give yourself at least 2 to 3 days in the week that you are not working your normal job, so you can just dedicate towards this journey. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be things you don't know. There's going to be so many problems that you run into. But if you think about it on the long-term perspective, if you just grind through it for 3 to 5 years, and I mean really grind through it, you can get to a point in your life where you never have to enter an office ever again. You never have to clock in ever again. You work on your own time. You can work remote. You can go to the office 7 days a week. You can go to the office 0 days a week. Whatever game plan or whatever lifestyle you want to live in 10 years from now, you got it. You don't ever have to answer to anybody ever again. Obviously, you're going to still have your business meetings. You're going to have to talk to stakeholders, stuff like that. But it's going to be your own baby, and you're going to look at it, you're going to look at work in such a different light, and that's a joy that you can't really have unless that business is your own or you have some sort of partnership within the business. If you exceed to a really high level in a corporate company, then I could see how you have a love for the company. But if you're just a traditional worker that can be easily replaced, you are not going to look at that business the same way you would if it was your own. It's the same way you could play with one of your friend's kids, but it's a different feeling when you hold your own son in your arms. It's very similar to that. And a lot of guys are also going to say that, 90% of businesses go out in the first year. Okay, does that mean you can't be that successful business? You can't be that 10% that makes it? 90% of people give up too quickly. 90% of people are idiots. 90% of people don't know how to work hard. 90% of people don't have enough money to even afford an extra year into their business, so they ultimately have no choice but to shut down. If you do not have that financial backup money, you really do only have a year. But most entrepreneurs and successful business owners tell you that if it's not making you money in 3 to 4 years after you starting it, then that's kind of when to just let it go. However, there are companies that are successful now that were in the hole for like 10 years. A lot of companies don't make that public anymore, or they don't publicize how bad their company was once it appeared in time. But yeah, a lot of companies weren't making money for like 5-6 years. That's really not uncommon nowadays, but if you look at companies maybe 10 years in, they're making 20, 30, 40 million. And that's just the payoff. That's the trade-off that they were willing to make, and they're just happy with the results now. And they're going to continue to drive profits to make their hard work even more worthwhile. So after you have your body in check and your money is right, what's the next thing that most guys want? They want a nice house. A nice house or a place to stay where they can raise their family, create a family, and host events. Hosting events is one of the most fun things you will ever experience in your life. If you guys are in college right now, I'm sure you've loved to go out to different sporting events, different parties, and just places where there are a lot of people having fun, right? That's a common trait that a lot of college students gravitate towards, either clubs, parties, sporting events, whatever. But when you have the ability to host the event, it's a completely different ball game, and it gives you a different level of satisfaction. Knowing you were able to host a good event, everybody that came into your house was super happy, super joyful. You didn't even need to kick anybody out. Everybody was well behaved, and eventually they're going to host events, and then you're going to get invited to their events. So it's a good cycle. It allows you to really develop that social circle that is so important for every man's life. a lot of guys leave college or leave high school, they kind of break apart from whatever friend group they were a part of. And as a result, once they get married, they don't have that much fun anymore with their boys. It's so sad. Think about the last time you've seen your dad hang out with his homies. Think about that. It's not that often. Not how you hang out with your boys, how you text them on a consistent basis. And it's probably a different lifestyle that you get accustomed to because, you know, once you're married, you have married people problems. But ultimately, that social life and that social value you have is so crucial. I would definitely recommend that you get a house that has certain amenities. If you have a pool, that always helps. If you have pool tables, ping pong tables, little basketball hoops, just space that, you know, you can invite people to and people actually want to come. You can have fire pits so you guys can roast marshmallows, little stuff like that. It brings a certain ambience towards your house, and it's just going to attract everybody in the neighborhood, and you're going to get super close with your neighbors. You're going to develop relationships that will last forever, and your son befriends your friend's son. That's another relationship, and that's basically a generational friendship. You have your friend, and your son and your friend's son are also friends, and then their sons are going to be friends. You see how the chain just keeps on going, and it's just a friendship that is going to carry on for generations. There's not going to be a point where their egos get in the way and the two men get mad at each other and just cut off each other and just go different ways, because they understand the legacy of this friendship. It is such a crazy thing to think about, but there are families where there is generational friendships that will never, ever be broken. That is something you need to strive for as a man. And once you have that, it is a very powerful ally that you can carry on with for the rest of your life, the rest of your generations to come after you as well.